friends, we've got breaking Disneyland news. To the point where I'm taking the video I had scheduled for today and I'm just pushing it off a week because there's a story that just went out yesterday and I believe it is way bigger than anyone is letting on. Yesterday, the OC Register reported that Disney has officially filed permits to begin construction on the new Coco attraction at Disney California Adventure, which is supposed to happen somewhere directly behind me. And how most people covered it? New ride coming. But I found something buried in that permit, something way bigger than just a new attraction. Brickey here, breaking down what might be the first real sign that Disneyland Forward is officially underway. Friends, make sure you hit subscribe because you don't want to miss any future updates. Because on this channel, we don't just look back at Disneyland's history, we use it to predict what's coming next. Today, I'm walking you through 3 major takeaways hidden in this permit. And once you see what Disney's actually doing, you'll realize this isn't a small step, but instead a giant leap forward into the future of California Adventure and the future of Disneyland Forward. Let's start with the official language of the permits. According to 2 permits filed with the city of Anaheim, Disney will be working on the public right-of-way along Disneyland Drive and Catella Avenue. That includes, and this is the important part, sidewalks, curbs, gutters, trees, planters, landscaping, irrigation, and fencing. Very boring, very standard, very Disney being sneaky, not really saying what they're doing. Here's what that actually means if you read between the lines. This work is happening outside of the park, right along the edge of the Simba lot and the backstage zone behind Pixar Pier. And what are they removing? Where I'm standing. Because this is a massive piece of landscaping that most guests don't even know exists. Now, if you've ever been lucky and you've been able to fly over this area, which is hard due to flight path restrictions, or pulled up satellite images of Disneyland, which you know I do daily, you maybe spotted a massive hidden Mickey made of hedges and trees tucked behind Pixar Pier. It's subtle, it's beautiful, and it's about to disappear. But here's the thing. Everything around me right now, it's not just landscaping, it's space, and a lot of it. Until now, has been completely off limits. But the night that Disney released the concept artwork about the Eastern Gateway, Avatar, and Coco, I went live and I said, if they ever clear the landscaping, it unlocks a critical expansion pad right behind Pixar Pier. And when I made my video showing 2 possible layouts for the new Coco attraction, I purposely didn't count this space yet. Not because I didn't see it, because I didn't want to include it until I knew Disney was ready to let go. Because I knew clearing this space, that's a signal that they're not just building a new ride, they're committing to something much larger. Now, here we are, and this area is about to get cleared, which means Coco isn't just a ride anymore, it's phase 1 of something much bigger. Let's talk about scale. If this attraction was just a ride being squeezed into the existing Pixar Pier footprint, there wouldn't be permits for clearing sidewalks, tearing up landscaping, or reshaping the edge of the park. There would be no need for any of this. In fact, they're not doing any of this for the 2 attractions that are coming in at Avengers Campus. It's all self-contained. Because that's not how Disney works. They don't just move something for the sake of moving it. They move it because it's a missing piece for the next part of the puzzle. But now they're removing this entire landscaping buffer. This attraction suddenly has even more room to breathe, and that changes everything. Because you know what already fits in the original space back there? It's a small world. The whole thing. Facades, courtyard, green space, the entire footprint. And that was before we gained all of this extra space. So ask yourself, if Coco was just going to be a small family boat ride tucked into a corner, then why would they need this much extra land? Small World is already 15 minutes long and has an enormous amount of park space all around its front facade. But Disney is taking this space, which tells us one major thing. Coco isn't just a nice little intellectual property overlay. Coco is going to be a world-class attraction. Yes, still a family boat ride, but way more ambitious than what most fans have been anticipating. And for everyone, including myself, wondering and worried if this would mean the end of parades, I actually think this news confirms just the opposite. By expanding the build zone behind the scenes toward backstage, they're making space for a proper attraction without sacrificing the parade route or infrastructure. If the parade building, one of the most simple buildings to move, needs to be rebuilt, there is more than enough space once you add this into the equation. So here is my first major takeaway about all this extra space. Parades are going to stay, and Coco just got way bigger. And if you're worried about this being crammed into a tiny little corner, don't be. Because friends, this is just the beginning, and from here out, it only gets bigger. All right, let me slow down and let's backtrack just a little bit. When the new Coco art got dropped, fans began to panic, and rightfully so. And not just because it looked like parades might be gone forever, but because it looked like Disney California Adventure would never expand across Disneyland Drive into the Simba parking lot. To a lot of fans, it felt like Disneyland Forward had just hit a wall. But I'm here to tell you, this is the biggest clue that not only is the expansion still in play, but it might already be underway. It rhymed. And this is where it gets important, because Disney isn't just reshaping the inside of DCA, they're reshaping the edge, right where the current backstage zone would eventually meet the Simba lot. Friends, this isn't random. This is preparation, because they're clearing the exact space where the future expansion bridge would need to land. Now, are they building a bridge right now? Absolutely not. But let's pay attention to what they're probably going to be doing. They're going to be grading the land, prepping the perimeter, and carving out an expansion pad. In classic Disney fashion, something we've seen them do time and time again, it's quiet, it's incremental, but it's 100% deliberate. This isn't just about giving Coco more room. This is about positioning DCA to grow in a way that it never has before. Disney is literally setting the stage for the largest expansion in DCA's history. And it's going to start right here with this one simple permit. Oh, I love this. Even if Disney just pulls the back service road up to this edge, that would give them so much more space than most people realize. This opens up, I think, a lot more possibilities and makes some things that guests were worried about, the solution to that, way more realistic than before. From my estimation, at the corner of Catella and Disneyland Drive, the backstage road already has a natural turn in it. Somewhere on this corner, if they decide to reroute vehicles in over here, it will keep them away from middle of the road, allowing their yield-in spot to be closer to the red lights. That would probably give them the ability to open up even more room up the street. Somewhere in the vicinity of this corner here, they could easily have this be the in and out, therefore making the bridge more backstage area for parades at a Coco attraction / neighborhood Miniland. Very, very possible. And it all would start with editing, curbs, sidewalks, trees, irrigation. It's everything that I'm walking around right now. It's all right here. So if you edit that, you're definitely editing the footprint of the Disneyland Resort. And that means setting up a major expansion zone for what eventually will come next. So one day, not too far away, This walk that I'm doing, you will be able to do up in the air, just like you do in downtown Disney, but instead of taking you from the Lego store to more downtown Disney, it'll be taking you in to more California adventure. And then eventually down the street, more Disneyland. Baseball hats for sale. Come get your baseball hats. Def Leppard baseball hats. Celebrating the 1955 World Champs. Come get your hats here. Step over to heybrickey.com and grab yourself an authentic baseball hat today. All right, let's rewind again. This is the first puzzle piece in a much bigger plan. A major edit here would let us know that Disneyland Forward has officially started. So let's connect the dots. To me, this definitely means parades are staying with the added room. And even though it won't be in the next day or week or months, a bridge is coming. The future plans for where a bridge can go when Disney determines the time is right. This expansion pad will give room for a bridge that will finally expand the park over Disneyland Drive. So friends, Disneyland Forward isn't just real, it's already reshaping the park. And importantly, not just the park. This project is actively changing the city all around it, starting with public sidewalks, street infrastructure that all exist outside the theme park gates. This is the first construction permit tied to Disneyland Forward. And once the first shovel hits the ground, it's no longer a rumor, it's no longer a theory. Disneyland Forward just became real. And Pinocchio is officially a boy. Drink the Coco. Friends, it may not seem like a lot, but I'm telling you right now, it's everything us hardcore expansion fans have been waiting to hear. Thank you so much for showing up. And friend, if you're somehow new here and you made it to the end of the video, make sure you catch my Disneyland Forward playlist. 30 videos describing all the different moving components of Disneyland's future expansion. And thank you even more to my magic brick key holders for making today's video possible. I appreciate you all.